Okay, in this video, we're going to do something a little different. Not much, but a little different. So I have a problem, and I wanted to show you what my problem was. So this is my day job. I work for this group here, doing website and maintenance and things of that nature. So I do some design work on again, off again for these folks here. And we're not happy with this logo, but there's a reason why we're not happy with this logo. A while ago, we originally had this logo, which we were happy with because it was quick, it was easy, we threw it up, it was pretty straightforward. But anybody in the design community would tell you that this is just a typical icon that we found online and we just threw it together. We didn't have a big budget, didn't want to spend a lot of time, wanted to get it up, wanted to keep it simple. The problem is there was another company that came along and we didn't trademark it, and I don't even think we can trademark it. They came along and they created a logo. And so we had to get rid of this logo. They used this icon and they colored it in. It was the exact same icon. And anyway, long story short, we didn't want to fight with it. We didn't want to mess around with it and prove that we had it first and all that. It wasn't worth it to us. So that's when we came up with these logos. And it came down to these two. And I still like this logo, but I was outvoted and we went with list logo. And so we put this on the page. The business is fairly young. It's only been around. I mean, the partners have been in the business for 15, 20 years. So they know their stuff when it comes to the actual product that they sell. But they didn't form this business until a year or so ago. And so it's still new. We haven't had a lot of traffic on the site, not as much as we'd like. And so we're still figuring out the look and feel. We know we like the green. We know we like the bluish gray as the alternate color. The reason this was shot down is it looked too much like water drops, too nature. We wanted something that was natural looking and whatnot. And they thought that this was a little bit more technical. Well, that was about 4 or 5 months ago, and they're still not happy with the logo. So we started looking around again and came up with a series of logos that were potential opportunities here. We went over to Envato Market and we took a look. Everybody really kind of liked this one, kind of liked the idea of this one. There were some things that they liked about this. This one was going to get flipped on its side to make a W and an S for Simply Web. This one, it showed the S, kind of a yin and yang. They liked the simplicity of it. This was going to flip the other way, and we were going to make a W out of it with, there is an S in there. It's kind of abstract. This one, again, everybody really liked it, but it looked a little too, it just didn't fit the technical server vibe that they were going for. So that one got shot down. Same with this one. This one had potential. Everybody really liked it, and it still may be in the running. It's just not in the running as of right now. And the other two, although we really liked this card down here, this is a great card. And we were hoping that we could maybe do something like this. But we just, again, didn't feel that this really represented the space that we were in. And so we shot this one down as well. But we loved the idea of this card, and we'd like to incorporate that maybe at some point. But just currently, not right now. And the same with the Synergy letter S logo. So none of those came along. And so we started looking at servers, and we started looking at the stacked 3, stacked 3 here, stacked 3 here. Here's 4, stacked 3. So we liked the idea of a stacked 3 server setup. We liked this idea. We wanted something simple along those lines. We didn't necessarily want to follow the crowd and create a cloud icon. See, here's another one. Little generic. We wanted something with a little more style. So we started looking at these ideas, the servers and whatnot. But this really wasn't hitting the mark either. So this is kind of what you go through when you're designing a logo. You kind of do a search to see what else is in the space to give you an idea of what you can maybe convey in your brand. And these are, I love icons, and a lot of times I find a good design out of a basic icon by just switching things up, and you can do that quite a bit. I've had success by just looking up icons in the past, but in this particular case, I have not been, it just isn't coming right out of the gate, which is okay. Each project is different, and you kind of nurture it in. So then we went on to server logos. And so we really liked this idea over here, this purple server logos. And we saw this one, Calibrias. I'm not sure. We really liked that idea. Really liked this idea. And we saw these other ones. We really liked Serverbox. That's a great little icon, simple and straightforward. So we knew we wanted something that was kind of hexagon-y, if you will. We liked this one too, but it was a little too plain Jane, everybody thought. So, but along those lines, we really liked the idea of the stacked pages, if you will, to represent blade servers for the server farm. We liked the idea of, the hexagon type of, we looked at this, stacking the servers to make kind of an S, that type of thing. But what we ultimately ended up with was this icon that we went ahead and we created the other day. And everybody seems to really like where we're headed with this. And so I wanted to go ahead and rebuild this icon and show you how we achieved this. So that's what we're going to do today in the video. But I wanted to kind of give you the backstory of how we got here to this level, because even if you're a marketing person and you're not really sure, how to go about getting a brand for your new product launch or a new line or a new company that you're starting, this is how a lot of designers do it. You do a search in your field and you do multiple searches, multiple sites. You can even do some of those AI and build a few logos. I've had some success with that as well. We looked at also the SW, Simply Web logo ideas. We did that as well. And we liked this kind of idea, but we didn't necessarily want to make it look like a tattoo. We kind of wanted to keep it a little bit more webbish, and we didn't want to get military, either. We didn't want it, misconstrued for something, some kind of symbol that, people don't understand. And next thing you know, you're getting canceled because people think that you're being disrespectful. So we didn't want to go down that road either. But we did look at this as well. And so there's all kinds of things that you can do. Letter icons. You can do, if you're in real estate, real estate icons. And there's just tons of work out there. And I really believe, and maybe this is bad, that I don't recreate the wheel over and over again. And maybe that makes me a bad designer. But there's so much talent out there that I just take some person's ideas and I expand on them and kind of mold them into what I need done, rather than trying to compete with a professional illustrator, because I am not a professional illustrator. I am not a professional photographer, and there is so much talent out there just dying to give their work away, it seems. So I take advantage of it, and maybe that's a dirty little secret of design, but it has proven to be very successful for me in a lot of areas. So, financial icons, these are some other ideas. because at one point we were looking at pie charts. We had pie charts to show the success that, that type of thing. But again, it was a little too generic. We wanted something with flair, but we wanted something simple. So this is how I go about doing these kinds of things. And I'll just do one more and then we'll get to work. Abstract icons, and even abstract icons can bear fruit. A lot of these, but this particular group, they wanted something a little bit less abstract-y and a little bit more, concrete-ish, if you will. So we kind of stayed away from the abstract. I presented some abstract ideas early on, and they were kind of shot down. They weren't really... But this can inspire maybe a marketing person, You take a piece of this, and you combine it with a piece of that, You throw it into Affinity, shake it all around, and see what you come up with, Because I love this blue hexagon. I love the shading on that, But I don't necessarily like the two smaller hexagons. And that's kind of what we did as well, is that we kind of took the nodes from this design because we really liked the node idea for ours. We liked the hexagon idea as well and we liked the idea of it being a web, but yet we also wanted to communicate the servers. And we also wanted to communicate the web, and we also wanted to communicate the cube type thing, and we also wanted to communicate networked nodes. So I think we kind of accomplished our goal, but the issue then became that the font did not fit the logo. So we ended up changing the font to a new font. We were using Railway. And a lot of people liked Railway, but when we put Joust, or Joust, it could be Joust, next to the logo, it just kind of fit. So we went ahead and switched the font. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to redesign this in Affinity Designer. And we're going to go ahead and put it up on the web. And we're going to make some adjustments to the website to fit, because we didn't want to get away from the green color scheme. We didn't want to completely redo the website, although we may redo some aspects of the website. I'm going to be doing a full-blown website build on this channel. I'm just hoping to get a little bit more subscribers and a lot more views on my videos before I start getting into some of this meaty stuff. So I'm kind of doing this lightweight stuff so I can get my views up and get maybe some more subscribers, which if you haven't subscribed, that would be great if you would. It certainly helps. It helps a ton. Anyway, so the logo needs to be able to be seen in white as well. So that's a requirement, as in the first logo that we did. So we can at least do that right now while we're talking here. Let's copy that, and we can close this out. Paste. Okay, that box is a little huge. Okay, we can just put that there, and then we'll replicate this to be in a reverse. And so we can do that. If you're new to the channel, I am using Affinity Designer. Big fan of Affinity Designer, mostly because it's compact. It gets done what I need done kind of rapidly. So that's one of the reasons why I like it. I think that some applications are really good, but they can offer a little bit of bloat. So I think that that's going to work out great in a reverse. I think this will look great down at the bottom of the web page in the reversed out gray here. If you're also new to the channel, you may or may not know that I use coolers as one of my tools to get my palettes. There's our palette for the Simply Web. And you can see on the website that we're actually using a lot of them. We're using this gray as the footer. And I will show you how I built this website. It's responsive and all of that. So, but you can see the blue here. The green obviously is the logo right here. The gray is the text, It's the back text, and it's also the reversed out in the footer. The light gray is right here, and the orange is right here. So, and I think this link color is this color right here. So we have a nice palette that we didn't want to throw away with this. We thought it worked really well together, and we didn't want to. I think this gray right here is this text right here. And I think that this is going to look great down there in the footer. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. So again, I just wanted to give you a quick backstory, and let's go ahead and get cracking, as they would say. Okay, let's get started.